Snowy here with another Rust build. This time we're building a base with an impossible bunker. And this is a very well tested build at this point. We've built it for several wipes now. The bunker itself is, as I point out, essentially possible according to all of the normal building rules of Rust. This is what happens when you watch too much Bud Satani. Now everything in my inventory here is sort of what's needed to build the base, but I want to point out what I'm showing you here is a 16 rocket 2x2 with an open core that requires 0 blueprints to build and to achieve 16 rockets. So everything in here that's a blueprint is secondary. Having said all that, the one blueprint you want really pretty badly is right there. It's the flame trap. That is a pretty key upgrade to the base. Everything else is just icing on the cake. So let's get to the tour. One water catcher, not a requirement. Vending machine is nice. Wipe day, that could be kind of hard to do, not a requirement. Solar panels, yeah, same thing. Notice the sort of weird design here. This is why we call this the Luxor. It's a pyramid. You can even stick a searchlight in there pointed straight up at the sky, and then at night your base has a weird glow coming out the roof. But coming in, we have a normal airlock, nothing too special, and it leads you to basically nothing. That's interesting. Coming up here, standing in this back corner, pulling out an angled roof. Wait, that's not possible. Not only is it not there's what? This isn't even, there's not even a pixel gap here or anything. How the hell? And I promise you, this is a base we've built many times live. What? And it gets better because you can open it from inside or outside. And it's still better because notice the wall doesn't break. It doesn't break. So, don't get me wrong, bunkers where you place a bit of twig and it breaks something and boom, you get access. Those have a time, they definitely have a place, but they also get really, really expensive when you're replacing high qual constantly. What about the rest of this base? Well, you can tell we got plenty of storage. Now, this is something most of you probably never seen done before as well. I call this the streamer. It's the lightest weight gardening you'll ever do, but if you use this technique, wow, that's actually a really good pumpkin, or potato. You can roll out plenty of food for a 2, 3, probably even a 4-man inside your base, and all you need is a ceiling light and a solar panel. You don't even need a battery to make this work. The battery will keep your lights on at night so it grows up faster, but it won't, you'll be fine without it. So what about the rest of this? We've got some obviously pretty snug storage features. Oh my god, what are you thinking? Desubbing from your channel now, you're using a shelf? Look, sometimes, occasionally, it's actually the right tool. So, how do we build this outrageous base? And yes, you can access these. Try not to harvest your corn on accident, though, by looking under. Sometimes you can access them by looking through, but not always. Usually you just get the repair bench. And you can put the bench over here and the barbecue over here. That's fine, too. Take this box out and maybe a bag or two. You can easily put a auto turret back here. It's kind of handy for, you know, raid defenses. But I know you're all dying to know what the hell is with this bunker and how do I get me one of these? Well, that's what we're gonna go find out. So, starting with a clean slate, I will point out that building it live, this is Builder Sanctuary. It's an amazing server when you want to practice your builds, but it's also got these pancake flat islands. You don't need perfectly flat terrain. You can actually build it on some kind of aggressive slopes, but it does make it more difficult the more slope you got to deal with. But to start with, we need a max height foundation. So notice I'm putting my mouse a little bit higher, so I'm sort of pulling on it a little bit, but it catches there. Now that's on purpose. And I did this on accident. Let's move a little bit. So I get my max height, and like I said, I put my mouse a little bit higher. Then you crouch and look at your compass. You want to rotate until you are lined up perfectly with a heading, then uncrouch and place. This just lets you build like all your box placements, your perfect TC high or large battery locker. All of that is much easier when you've done it with an angle align. High foundation, half height. Now that stuff almost always goes in, so here's your first test. Does that go in? Your second test, does this go in? And your third test, does this go in? This one here tends to be the trickiest, because when you're building this on any slope, you're facing uphill to some extent, and this piece has to place, and it has to place at max low. Now that we've got all that, the rest of the base almost always builds. Here's your 2x2 core. And this is your honeycomb. Now, to build this, honestly, we usually end up building another small base to operate out of because this build is so complex. But if you find yourself with some teammates and a bit of confidence, you can build just this, and it's absolutely fine. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and upgrade this all to final grade. Whoop, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Oh, no, it's not. Alright, never mind. From now on, I'm switching to... Never mind, I'm going to switch to twig. And I'll just do this manually. So, this is all going to be sheet at some point. And your core, stone is fine to start with. But it's going to be sheet metal. Oops. And I did forget. That's actually going to be armor. That's going to be armor. Alright. So now you can put down a TC. Get a door on it. Get a TC on it. Notice, again, with the angle align, this makes placement very easy. I want to move it in just a bit. There we go. So now we got perfect alignment, and you can throw a door in here, and you've got a terrible non-airlock, but it'll do. We don't need any of the rest of this done for the rest of the build. This can all be what it is. It could be, like I said, just stone to start with. How did I forget the roof? So, on to the bunker. Notice we've got 3 squares, 4 squares, 3 squares. You come over to the side, which is going to be your airlock. And you're going to build triangles. We're pixel gapping. So the numbers you're keeping in mind are 12 and 18. The first pixel gap is 12. 12. You come out 2. And now it squares back. Now I know we're already breaking one of the usual build orders here. People usually put their square attached to this one. And then they have to break all the triangles to bring back the squares. If you do this, you don't have to break all the triangles. It's a lot easier. Coming over here, this one is going to attach to this square. We don't have to worry. This one is going to attach to this triangle. We don't have to worry. But you can already see the important part. Big stone, bottom left. 3 rocks kind of forming a shape pointed at you. Big stone left, same 3 rocks. Now again here, we're desert and we're on Builder Sanctuary. If you were building this live in the grass, it can get hard to see any of these. So it's good to know what you're looking for. Rock, 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 big rock. Now here's the first one, and you can see it right there, that wiggle. It has to be connected to this triangle, not that one. So usually you look down and left, but here you can see big rocks over there. 3 rocks are in this weird orientation, so that wasn't it. Big rock, 3 rocks. Oh, look, we got it. Now, here's another order of operations. You don't have to do it right this second, because you can break this later. But this wall must be attached to the triangle foundation that it's currently on. So you want to attach it when there is no foundation here. You can do it now, you can do it later. Once again, down and left, there's our big rock, there's our 3 rocks. Down and left, big rock, 3 rocks. Down and left, big rock, 3 rocks. So this is all good. Now, break the first 2 triangles. All your squares and that triangle. Remember I said 12 and 18. This one's number 12. That's 18. Once again. Now we're back to being important. Down and left, big rock, 3 rocks. Down and left, big rock, 3 rocks. So at this point, if you have a teammate, it's not a bad idea to have them break all this. Because any builder who knows anything about pixel gapping and stuff like that is going to see this and immediately go, what the shenanigans? So, not a bad idea to get that broken. And as far as this magic bunker goes, these 2 are where the magic happens. So, need a door frame. May as well put down another door frame. Hell, we can even put down... Oops, we can put down the wall. We can put down another wall. This door frame is for your vending machine, and it's not a bad idea to have a garage door or a regular door separating your airlock from your vending machine, but it's not necessary. But interestingly, even though this stuff isn't all on the pixel, the double pixel gap, it's still going to give us some stability. Up here, you don't have to place these, it's helpful because you need somewhere to stand. Down and left, rock, 3 rocks. Down and left. Oh, we got a jiggle. Big rock, 3 rocks. Alright, so that's all good. Now we have to build, these ones don't count, but all the rest of this has to be attached to these 2. Big rock, 3 rocks. Big rock, 3 rocks. Oh, we got a little fight. Big rock, 3 rocks. Big rock, 3 rocks. And now we're back to order of operations being super important. So I'm placing this so that you can see the bunkers open. And I'm going to go ahead and show you this. Let's break this so we can see. If you place your triangle from up top, down and left, big rock, 3 rocks, the bunker sealed. What? That's rude. Oh wait, let's put that back. Big rock, 3 rocks, but the bunker sealed, so we know it already doesn't work, but there's another problem. Oh, okay, now my head hurts. But that's because we did it wrong. If you do it right, you come down here and you place, and somewhere you're gonna get that little jiggle. Let's just place it. Alright, the lines going this way mean you're hooked up here and the bunker doesn't seal. If you place it wrong, the lines will be going this way and the bunker will seal. But the problem I was describing is right here. It doesn't place any longer. Stability's gone. So you have to place And like I said, this is order of operations shenanigans. This has to get placed, and this must be placed from below, otherwise the bunker seals. I don't know why, and I don't really care why, because it's a magic bunker. You know you love it. Another bit that sometimes gives us trouble is these two, one of them often doesn't place. You just have to upgrade and then it will. It happens sometimes in Rust. So there you have a working in-out bunker, and by the way, this is where the furnaces come in. Now I'm going to use that heading trick. I line up my compass perfectly with, in this case, 125. I back up until I get blue. I push back a little. That is one perfectly placed furnace. This one needs to be in snug and all the way left. And by the way, you could rotate these for light. This one needs to be placed. Now, if you're going to place your flame trap, it needs to be real far back, because that has to happen. Now, the cool thing with flame traps, you can pick them up with a hammer, and it doesn't take damage. And your furnaces are fairly tough. If you get those wrong a couple times, it doesn't matter. You'll still be able to put them back down. But like I said, there's your working bunker. In, out, totally good to go. Upgrade this thing to sheet and or stone, depending on what you've got, and you're set. Now, let's get back to these. We got to place these from inside if you want them to have full stability. If you place them from outside, or if you place them second, I should say, to these ones, this is 30, this is 26. But if you place that one second, this one second, they sometimes steal stability from here instead of the wall, so they're only 9%. It's not a very big deal most of the time, but it gives us a headache sometimes. If you're going to build on your roof later, you definitely want this build order. Having said all that, placing these, anybody who's played with the angled roofs know they're picky. I like how it was just there, and then it wasn't. Come on, Rust. As I mentioned, angled roofs are a pain in the butt. Now, one thing you can do is leave this open, and then if you have the ability to make industrial lights, you can place some of them near the edges, and then they'll shine through. You can hang ceiling lights, and then they shine through into the base below. So if you want to have access to place electronics, you can do that here and then finish it later. You can also leave like this triangle off and get access from inside. Doesn't matter to me how you do it, or just leave it empty. That also doesn't matter. But it's an option we like. And then once again, placing from inside, and now the top part's sealed. Now this needs to remain open until you can upgrade to sheet metal, because there's no way to access this otherwise. So that has to stay open until you get sheet metal, but once you've got sheet metal, you just seal it. So we have, yeah, that's basically the full build as far as the bunker is concerned. And let's go on to show you guys. So, adding, oops, I somehow deleted a triangle. Putting on your airlock, obviously pretty important. Now, you do not have to put in the vending machine. It definitely is a bit pricey at the start of a wipe. You can just put a wall there instead. But at this point, we've got 16 rockets. It's a 16 rocket build. Oops, I lied. It's a 16 rocket build. To get into this, it's now 16. Now, I'm leaving it sparse on purpose because I want to show you the true build costs. So, building this base as is, 8K metal frags, 5.5K stone, 5.5K wood, sorry, 600 stone. Oh, that's from the furnaces. So, 8K metal frags, probably 9K to be realistic. That way you've got some extra. Because the thing is, the total build cost goes up quite a bit once you start factoring in your garage door and your boxes and all the other stuff that costs metal frags is where the expenses come from. But to get your 16 rocket base with some bags and a few boxes, definitely under 10K frags. Adding the rest of this, like I said, it's not a bad idea to put at least one garage door here. That way your airlock path to your vending machine's a little bit tough. A couple drop boxes. The flame trap on the inside is very forgiving, but I usually like to put it down after this shelf. And the shelf placement, once again, we're going to angle a line. Can't place, not enough space. What? Back this up just a pinch. There it goes. That kind of needs to go in first, but again, you can pick up flame traps without damaging them, so it's got to go here. And again, you need to test it to make sure that you can still place, and that's good. The shelf, unsurprisingly, not very hard to build. Oops. And then you've seen the rest of the layout. And you can modify this layout any particular way you want. You can put a wall and a garage door here, make it a little harder to get to the TC. You can put the TC over here to, you know, throw raiders off as far as if they've watched this video. But it also, it's a 16 rocket base. Does it really matter if they got to spend 3 more rockets to get TC? I guess it's up to you though. But this garage door and this garage door do add a bit of security because this area, when it gets raided, people love to come in through here. The garage door often stops them cold, but the bunker almost always is just full stop. Oh, this is not what we thought. Because you can't tell there's a bunker from outside. So like I said, it's not bad to have a little bit of security. Plus your drop boxes will have probably some loot in them. I like to put, if I don't put this here, or even if I do, you can put a locker here. But again, it's right, just 2 metal doors, so grub kit. Plenty of stuff you can do out here. But I think that's the build. I don't think I need to show you anything else, do I? Do I need to show you the perfect placement? Rotating this 3 times so the panel's facing you, aligning to the correct compass heading, backing up, coming out just a pinch. Locker, rotating 3 times so the key lock is facing in, all the way up against it. Workbench can be a little bit fun. Perfect compass heading. Alright, let's back this all the way up. Come out like a pixel. All the way over. That wasn't even quite perfect compass heading. I like to put auto turrets right down here if I've got enough solar panels. Just one auto turret pointed at the front door. It's a little bit handy in a raid. People like to come in through the door path anyway sometimes. But you've seen the box placement. You've seen all the other shenanigans. It's a great base. It's not expensive. And possibly the most magic part, which I believe I forgot to get to, is once you put your garage doors in, your upkeep will still be about 1,500 metal frags a day and 10 high qual. The base is insanely cheap, and it's 16 rockets. I hope you've enjoyed, and I really hope to see what you crazy bastards do with this beautiful, amazing, double pixel gapped bunkers. But Tatani, again, I'm looking at you.